Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the update. It's finally been released for the Mini. Went onto Facebook today and it released a couple of hours ago, so I'm a bit slow on this one, so hopefully I can catch up and get this done for you and walk you through the process. So first of all, let's read the post and we can see exactly what's been changed. So Retro Games Limited have put this post up. It says, well, it's time for the A500's first firmware update, the moment you've all been waiting for. We've spent weeks since the initial A500 Mini retail launch, USA almost there in a few weeks, making some improvements, minor bug fixes, and listening to you guys and doing as many of the this is us, I assume that's supposed to be listening to you guys and doing as many of the things you've been asking for that we can practically do at this point. So without much further ado, and obviously there's a little video there from Periphractic if you want to see what's going on. Hopefully you won't need to because you can see it from me. This firmware update includes ADF support, which is amazing, and that's what we've all been wanting. Playlist support, which I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Adds hot crop, again not quite sure how that's going to work. I'm guessing it's to do with the functions that's in the settings. Keyboard control of the user interface. I haven't actually connected a real keyboard yet, so that hasn't been an issue for me, but maybe for some of you guys. Allows the virtual keyboard to be accessed at all times. Again, I'm not quite sure what that is, but it sounds intriguing. Allows controllers to be physically swapped during play. Swaps the joystick fire buttons, fixes the virtual keyboard cursor / right button. Again, I'm not quite sure what that is either, to be honest with you. More detailed info can be found here, and obviously then there's the link to download it. If you go onto Facebook, you can find this post, or you can find it on the Retro Games website. Okay, so let's go and have a little look on the detailed info here. So it shows you all the ADF file support. ADF files are chosen in the usual way by navigating to them with the pad and selecting them with A. To play multi-disc games, choose the ADF files for launching the game, then flip between them while the game is running. Okay, that's pretty cool. When you select a file, LHAL ADF with A, the behaviour is to replace the previously selected file. Let's see. Launch the game in the usual way by pressing the home button. When prompted to change this by the games, press and hold home and then press R. Okay, we might have to keep a copy of this with us all times. Sounds a little bit complex, but yeah, once you get used to it, it'll be fine. Playlist makes choosing multi-disc games quick. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, making playlist. Text file with an M3U extension. Okay, well, we're getting into more complicated territory now, aren't we, with this stuff, but it seems pretty cool actually, and definitely very doable. I'm not going to read all this. I'll let you read this at your leisure. I don't think I'm going to go over creating playlists today. We're going to keep this one fairly simple. Choosing the Amiga model. There we go. Yeah, so the game settings screen for an ADF game's additional settings for Amiga model, and you choose between A500, A500 Plus, and A1200. If you have expert mode enabled, you'll be able to choose between 2 kickstart versions per model. It's usually safe to select the highest kickstart version of a machine. That's pretty cool. Here's the hot crop. If you're playing a game which to zoom the image, you can press and hold home and then press Y. This will form a crop and zoom of the image without you needing to head back to the game settings. Oh, that's very cool. However, when you do a hot crop, the resulting image size is not stored. Okay, yeah, so if you want it stored, do it through the game settings. Otherwise, you can do it on the fly, so that's pretty cool. Virtual keyboard can be accessed without having to first map it to its activation button. To activate virtual keyboard, press and hold home and then press menu. Okay, that's very cool as well. Cool little feature. Okay, so this is all about the controller swap, which hasn't really been an issue for me, but maybe for you guys if you want to just read through that yourself. Keyboard control. The A500 Mini now allows the user interface to be controlled using the keyboard. Looks like it's pretty standard controls. You might need to keep again a copy of that just to know your key settings and everything. And the joystick, C64 joystick, fire buttons can now be mapped. That's very cool. Yeah, that's going to be handy for anyone who uses the stick. So okay, so I think we've gone through most of the features there, albeit briefly. If you want to navigate to this is obviously on the main website, and if you want to navigate to the resulting firmware, I think if you just press support, there you go, and it's got update the firmware. They've added that to the list, and then obviously you can go in here. And again, these are all the features that have been introduced, which we've already gone over, so there's no need to go over them again. This is what we're interested in now, so obviously we will hit download. Right, so now we want to concentrate on applying the update, so I think this is going to be fairly straightforward, but we'll go through this. Obviously I've already downloaded it, which is on my desktop here. What I would suggest doing, because I've read a few comments on Facebook and it's saying that the save states could be affected by doing the update, so I would suggest maybe making a backup copy of your stick first before you apply this, and just in case, it's probably a good idea just to keep a backup anyway, So I've just done that in this new folder here. Then all we do, it says there we go, download the latest firmware, copy the firmware to the root directory of the stick. Do not place it in a folder. So we will do that, which is this here. Wait for it to copy, obviously. And that, I think, is all we have to do on the PC. So now I'm going to switch to the Mini and we'll do the rest on there. Okay, as you can see, we're on the A500 Mini here. The next step of the process, I've already inserted my USB into the Mini. So the next thing is to go to Options, Advanced Options and System Information. Okay, so press Menu to go to Options, Advanced Options, System Info, and as you can see, new firmware found. Do you want to apply? Yes. So we will do that, and obviously it will install the update, and I'll skip this process and see you on the other side of it. Okay, as you can see, the Mini has rebooted, and we can check by repeating step 4 to make sure the firmware has been updated. System info, and there you can see 1.10. So we have the new firmware. Okay, this is exciting. So now what we're going to do is test a couple of the options to see exactly what's gone on. Okay, so let's test the ADFs and see, because I put a few on. I'll have a look and see. There we go, I've got my ADF folder here. So what I thought I'd do first of all is test a 1-disc game. So we've got the Adams Family here, so we're going to test that. That's the ADF version, and we'll see if it works. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, so far so good. I'm not looking forward to testing the multi-disc versions. It sounds very complicated to me, but oh, well, it works though. Look at that. Okay, let's make sure the game actually works first before I start celebrating. That's the only reason why it wouldn't though from here. Also going to test the hot crop while we're here as well. Skip that bit. We want to know if the actual game itself is working. And also I want to, like I said, just test the hot crop quickly. Okay, let's try that. So it's hold home, press Y. There we go. So that works. Start the game. We'll also make sure we do that in the game itself, just in case it's overcropped or whatever. I think this is going to be a handy feature, you know, just for doing it quickly. And there we go. I'll just double check that, make sure that is the proper crop for that. Yep, looks perfect. And it's working like a charm. I'm not going to play too much of this now, obviously, but... Yep, doesn't seem to be any issues, does there? So looks like it's working perfectly. Okay, let's come out to the menu. Okay, let's try a multi-disc game here. So we're going to try Championship Manager 93. So according to the instructions, it says to select multiple ADF files, for example disc 1, 2, 3, you select the first disc by pressing A, and then add additional discs 2 and 3 by pressing R. So if we add A, R and R, there we go. So all 3 discs have been added, as you can see down the bottom. So then I'm guessing that we start the game in the usual way. So this is all trial and error. As this is Championship Manager and it will take a while to load, I'll probably skip a little bit of the loading screen. Just be aware of that. Excitingly, it says Championship Manager 93 is loading, which is something I never thought I'd get to say on here. Okay, so I'm just looking at what we need to do. When prompted to change discs by the game, press and hold home, then press R. This will advance the inserted disc to disc 2, then disc 3 back to disc 1, and so on. Okay. I'll have to wait a while for this to load because it's Championship Manager and it's going to take a while. Looks like it's getting there though, which is good. Oh my god, look. This is it. Never thought I'd hear that music on here. there it is. Okay, we'll use our crop thing to zoom in. Obviously it controls with a mouse. Okay, I think we can just put anything in here, can't we? So let's just put 1-1 will do. Okay, and we want a new game because there's none to continue. No printer. We'll use 93 players. Okay, so here's the test. And once again, we're going to talk about this. Is you've got to hold home and press the right button. So disc 2 is inserted, and I'm assuming it goes automatically. There you go. Let's just make sure it's working. 1 player. As always, I have to choose my team. Sorry if this disgusts you. I always usually go for confident. Okay, just gonna, obviously I haven't got a keyboard inserted, so L will do. Initials will do. Apologies if you can hear a barking dog in the background, that's outside. And there we go. I'm not going to let this play because obviously it's going to take ages to create, as it always does on these games. But as you can see, multi-disc is working perfectly, crop's working perfectly, the keyboard on the screen is working perfectly, and so it appears the firmware is working perfectly. So as usual with all these things, I'll just say to you, any problems, please let me know in the comments, and either me or myself or somebody more knowledgeable than me will have a solution, I'm sure. But as you can see, it looks like this is exciting times. I can't wait to mess around with this more. What I'll probably do during the week, maybe even tomorrow, is make another video just to test a few of these games a bit further. It's going to be a bit of a challenge with a game like Beneath a Still Sky, isn't it, with the amount of discs that are going to be coming up for that one. I think there's something like 11 or 13 or something. I know there's loads, but as you can see, this is working. So it's going to be quite convenient to just have to press the home button and the R to move to disc 2. I mean, you couldn't get a lot simpler than that, really, could you? So yeah, so this is great news. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. That would be great. And if you're not new, thank you for continuing to watch and support. Really do appreciate it. And if you've got any questions on any of the things I've shown you in this video, ask me in the comments. Like I said, people will help. If I can't, or if I'm not answering for whatever reason, I will always answer, but it sometimes takes me a while to go through the comments. So if it's urgent, obviously somebody else may help you. I thank you so much for watching my videos, really do appreciate it. And if there's anything else that you want covered, like if you want to see me create playlists or whatever, do let me know, and I'll certainly give it a stab. And I might even do that off camera at some point, and if I think it's beneficial, I'll stick it in another video. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, have fun with this. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.